when earth awakens her rime-hearted Mother Earth.
Okay, welcome everyone. I think so we're waiting on Jacques to join us in a few minutes, but I can recap from last week. I think you had just finished a massive boss fight battle with a giant squid-like sort of humanoid creature that had launched itself over the deck after chewing on the sides for a bit. The body is still there, and I think, correct me if I'm right here, Sharpwise, you spotted a little brain appear out of nowhere in front of you on the ground, on the deck near the beast, as it died, and it raced off past Nina, dodging under her rapier, and dashed below deck somewhere. So I guess that's where we left off, and unless there's any other logistics or other things, we can pick it up straight from there. Does anybody want to do anything now? We're not in combat, by the way. I'm not going round by round.
I was chasing the brain.
That's right. You had gone.
Yep.
You had walked as fast as you could, and then did a misty step as well. Yes. And you had opened the door. I'll just move everyone I'd moved everyone over to where they were. I'm just going to move everyone right now to at least be on the right deck. And Nina, you were over here somewhere. Was it Nina or Threads? I forget. Threads had done the misty step.
Threads.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. So it was over. I've just got myself on a red ping, so you'll know if it's me, if it's a red dot. And so Threads, you're over near a door that's next to this stairs that go up to the highest deck at the rear. You've opened the door. You can see it opens into some rooms within, but see no sign of this creature.
Can I hear anything like rustling or like pitter-patter of little brain feet or anything?
Okay, I'll get you to do a perception roll. And the others, if you want to move or anything, you can move your figures, or if there's anything else you want to do in the meantime.
Can I cast guidance on myself and then try a perception check?
Perception check.
Sharpwise is basically following where he could find him.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so Threads, let's try something here.
Is somebody putting ocean noises?
Yes. Okay, Threads, you don't detect anything. I'll turn it down, this ocean down a little bit while we're talking, but...
It's okay, I just needed to find out how to turn it off.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, that's right, you got the bandwidth issues.
Correct.
It's roll 20. Yeah, so Threads, you don't detect any sign of this creature.
Okay. Can I step inside and have a better look?
Yeah, sure. Well, you've gone inside and searched that room.
Can I search for any like holes or containers that it might have gone into?
You've had a good look around. I've assumed I suppose you could do a more comprehensive search. So rather than it be like a run round, 6 seconds, glance around, look for any sign, any quick source of exit or curtains moving, stuff like that. But you could sort of roll up your sleeves and start doing a more thorough scan through the room, opening up boxes or looking under tablecloths. Not that there's tablecloths on the deck of the ship, within the ship, but yeah, you can do that.
Can Sharpwise help her?
yeah, so anybody else want to do anything over this time? I think there might be some crew damaged, injured down here as well.
Oh, I'll go help out the injured.
Okay. So you can go and perform some first aid on any crew that have been battered. Any that took a full-on hit from this creature died. They got one-shotted by it, either bitten in half or swallowed, or bits of them tossed overboard. But there's a few that just got battered as it sort of moved past the space that they were in, pushed aside and so on. Okay.
I say to the crew, like, gather the injured, but also gather the dead,
Okay.
just in case they get infected or raised again as, undead.
Yep.
Keep an eye on them, essentially.
Okay. Do a bit of a snoop around and have a look. There's also the corpse of this creature is still on deck. It's not. I haven't got it on screen right now, but it's still there. 15 foot across, looking like a giant squid. You could probably stretch it out over 30 or 40 feet when you look at the tentacles. Threads and sharp wires. At this stage, if you want to do a search, do a investigation. You can both.
Is that with advantage?
Or if
You're helping.
Yeah, I'm easy either way. Either I've got rolls there from Sharpwise and yourself, so you both roll. Another way that you can do it, if you sort of tee that up in advance, is whoever's the primary investigator, they can be doing it with the other person giving them advantage. So with both of you,
Let's say that's Sharpwise. I think
Yeah,
you're all
okay.
better than me.
yeah. Well, his first one was a 5, was a natural one, and your first roll was a.
The natural one gets re-rolled for halflings, so that's what they get.
Happy days. Okay. Right, so that's cool. All right then. So yeah, you've done a thorough search, and between the two of you, you're convinced that this creature is not hiding out somewhere in this room.
Okay.
Alright, time to start searching the ship deck by
Yeah,
deck, room
yeah.
by room.
Okay.
Go alone.
Okay. And so the captain will help to organise this and give you each a couple of crew members if you're splitting up, or assign groups to start searching the ship from top to bottom. Is anyone doing anything other than assisting with the search?
Between applying first aid and then gathering the dead and maybe just tying them together, I think Ash will be pretty busy. But if someone needs her, she's just a shout away.
Okay. Are you all going together, room by room, or taking? Is there one?
At least in pairs.
Okay. So do you want to just pair yourselves up on deck? That'd mean with Ash up on deck the whole time. You could be.
I'll stay with Ash.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So who have we got? Yep. So Nina and Ash, and then there's.
I guess I can stay with the other Russ.
Okay, and that means Sharpwise and Nina. So it's already done. It all happened. Okay. I'll get the 3 groups to do an investigation. I'm assuming that you've also got some crew helping you. So there's probably 4, and any more than 4, and you start to fill up a room and start tripping on each other. So rather than the advantage and so on, I'll just get you in your pairs. So they're Sharpwise threads, Jackus, and to collectively nut your heads together. You can both have advantage on the rolls because you're getting assistance from the crew. This is in addition to what you've just done. Okay, so we've got a 16 from Sharpwise. Oh, Ross, 10. Jacques, welcome to On Decks.
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
That's all right. I just given a description of what happened up to now. Just a recap. And Threads, yours is with advantage, so you can roll twice because of the sailors helping you.
Never mind.
Oh, okay. And same with the people on deck. I'll give you an investigation just for noticing things. And who am I waiting on? Am I waiting on anyone? Ash. I didn't see you there.
Oh, sorry, what do I have to roll for?
Oh, just advantage investigation.
Okay.
Yep. One more. Almost there. Okay. All right, so let's see. Firstly, for above decks, Ash Louise, in your investigations of the injured, you also notice these skeletons that you had also, bashed and fought as well. They look like they are also sailors that have been swallowed whole at some point in the past, and one of them has some sort of totem, stone necklace totem tied around their neck. Nina, you notice that the skull of this creature, while it probably doesn't have bones, it's got a large cranium type cavity, but it's sort of sunken in, almost as if its head is now just a deflated sack. That's pretty much it as the results of your on-deck investigations. And
I would like to take the necklace and will ritually cast detect magic on it. Or if I can make like any kind of religion or arcana check, I can do that first.
yeah, it radiates magic from a detect magic, and it looks like the head of a fluffy cat, sort of like a tiger, but in that sort of shape, rather than a kitten. But yeah, definitely a sort of cat-shaped totem. It's got two little black gems for eyes, but otherwise is almost pure white.
Has Nina seen that symbol or the cat anywhere?
You can have a nature check, Nina.
It's a nature check.
Yes. We're recognising an animal here.
Oh,
You recognise that it is in fact an animal.
It is an animal, yes. Oh, very good, yes. You say, looks like an animal to me. 2 ears, 2 eyes. Certainly, probably not a camel. That's about it. With your 5, you're channeling your Bellamy, or is it David Attenborough, Richard Attenborough? I think I confuse the two all the time.
David.
Yeah,
David.
There we go. But so you have a little cat totem and a floppy sack head. The rest of you comb this ship for easily an hour. You've gone through the whole thing and nothing comes up. You haven't seen any sign of this creature. Either it's not on board anymore, or it's just outwitted you in terms of its ability to hide.
How big was it again?
About the size of a cat, a bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
With little legs, yeah?
Yeah, with little legs. Tiny.
Oh, does the corpse of the creature or the undead or anything else radiate magic? Since detect magic lasts for like 10 minutes or so.
No, it doesn't. None of the debris on deck radiates magic.
Can we check if any of the crew's been taken over by that brain thing, or if any one of the crew is like moving differently than
Okay.
normal?
Okay, Jackus, while you all are sort of going around, you're sort of eyeing off the crew that you're with. Can you roll a insight for me?
Inside.
Yeah.
I rolled that as well, Just-
you can help
just
him.
to see.
Yeah.
I've got proficiency in it, so I can
Okay.
give him an advantage on it.
Yeah. Okay. So you can roll instead of giving him advantage if you prefer.
Yeah, I
And
think
doing-
it's better that you roll it.
Do an independent check. Ho! Boom. We got a dirty
Yeah,
20.
Tell Elros what I'm planning to do.
Yeah. Dirty 20, by the way, was the name I wanted to give to this podcast when I was changing it between campaigns. And I did a Google, and there's 3 bloody podcasts all with the same name, so it's already taken, and I'll let it go. But a good name for a party name too. Mighty 9, Dirty 20, just have an adjective and a number at the end. Okay.
High rollers. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's another good one. Okay, so you think that there's quite a few crew members who are, acting out of sorts, unusual, but not one in particular.
I just keep my eyes on those crew members.
Okay.
Perception check on those crew members just following us.
Yeah.
Just to further into it, basically.
Okay. Perception. Perception. You're trying to just.
Yep. Just trying to gauge it without making it look too obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
Sort of thing.
Okay.
So
You can roll a perception. Okay. You think that they're all probably pretty freaked out, and that might be the source of them looking, not normal. But there's no one sort of walking around doing the robot everywhere or anything like that. The crew calls for a meeting in his cabin and invites you in. It pretty much occupies a half of this upper deck here when you go below, and invites you in. So him, his bosun, the quartermaster, and the party are all together. And he says, I don't know anything about this beast or what it means to have this little thing running around on board. I guess it's possible if it came from the ocean, maybe it's returned there. But we've got bigger problems in that great Hulk there tore a huge hole in the side of the hull. We've patched it as best we can, but we're still taking on water. And if we're making such slow going here, there's no way we're going to make it to Orwellsburg. So he's ordering the ship. He's not sort of asking for opinions or anything. It's not a democracy. He's saying so. The course of action is to turn ship and start heading back through this icy slush as best we can, and hopefully we'll make it back to Fireshire in time before the ship sinks.
Goodness me. All right.
And
Well, I think we defer to the captain's wisdom.
yeah, and he looks to each of you in case you've got anything to say or any comment.
There are no settlements up ahead.
Let's see if I can shoot you to this map.
middle of the ocean.
So, if you can see the map where you started to slow down on this day 5, 6, and 7. 6 and 7 particularly bad, and the captain believes it's from the sea of moving ice being so much further south than it should be this time of year. So if I do my ping and see all this area, he's very reluctant to go anywhere further north, so across this sort of line here. Do a freehand.
Where is Orkney? It seems like it's a closer port.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
so
it
it is. So that's possible. You could make for Orkney, but it crosses further north. So you might find, instead of going, what his plan is, if I just do, is to just head south and hopefully get to clearer water, and then suddenly just be sort of 2, maybe 4 days. But if you do this and gets worse, it's possible the whole ship may be trapped in the ice if it closes up.
Follow captain's orders for me.
Yeah.
But
Can I have permission to look through some of the parcels were meant to be delivered?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
See if anything's missing from the logs.
yeah, can you roll a persuasion at disadvantage unless somebody wants to lend their weight to the argument?
I'll lend my weight.
Okay, so you can have an advantage roll there, Sharpwise.
I will also, well, because I would like to add as a side note that maybe this creature is attracted to something on board that's very powerfully magical. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So is that Elros? No, that's your old insight. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Sharpwise. So you make a case, and the party all back you up, and the captain agrees that let's make sure we've got some protection up, and we don't know what sort of wards there might be on these things or what they might actually be. But
I don't plan to open them. I just want to find out if they're still there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I thought you were trying to convince him to.
Oh, I want to open them.
Well, apparently you now have permission. But anyway,
You do now have permission, but yes, you can investigate them, have a sniff, have a look, have a rattle, do the whole Christmas shake, Isaac, if Ash wants to open any, the captain will allow it, with in the presence of the leadership of the ship, of the icebreaker.
Well, I would like to. We know that the Arcane Brotherhood one is too heavily warded to open, but I'm suspicious about Vanifer's, which she instructed us not to open, but I would like to at least scan it with Detect Magic and perhaps see what we can find.
Okay. So, let's say you're on the ship. I'll just see if I can. I'll just jump back to the icebreaker. Grab your tokens. Let's see. Yep. And we'll get ready.
Just wondering if anyone has any powers to stop water or block a hole in the ship hull.
I had a Tempest Cleric, it would have been perfect.
Okay.
See, my other Cleric was of the Storm and could control water, and he was in the Hell campaign, and now I'm playing a Hell Cleric who's resistant to fire, but I'm on the Ice campaign. So.
Okay, let's have a look. Where is this captain's?
I haven't used my spells yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's looking a bit cramped here, but this is a slightly off scale ship. So while you guys are occupying one square here, it's double that. So you can easily fit into this area. You can see there are chairs for 9 people sitting around the table, and you are there with your Christmas Day presents. So if I go to, I think it was Ash. You were wanting to cast something on Vanifer's, the long, slender one.
Yeah, I'll just ritually cast detect magic and see what shows up. If anything.
Okay, you do detect magic.
What school?
Enchantment.
So,
Hmm.
so I see a faint aura around any magical creature object and then learn its school. So okay, it's enchantment magic, so it affects minds. This is just a guess.
Could do, yeah.
I'll relay the party. That's all I know. It has an enchantment that's from the school of enchantment.
Yeah.
Which is typically mind affecting magics. Not what I expected.
Is the brain attracted to mind
Yeah.
magic?
Oh my god.
I don't know much about magic, but it makes sense.
Imagine.
Were any of the packages missing?
No, nothing's missing. It's all there.
And nothing's been tampered with or anything?
No, nothing's been tampered with.
Right, so it wasn't after one of the packages. That's interesting.
I'm just jumping into these party notes here. Show to players. Just make it a bit easier. Okay, yeah, so you've got this metal box. You've got the wrapped stone, which I can put in there. Seeing as you're doing detect magic, you can cast your eyes over all these things. Evocation is the school that thing provides. The brandy is non-magical. Vanifer, enchantment. Just updating notes. And the notes and letters you no longer have.
Cross off the list.
We're already on our way back to Fire Shear, right?
You are, yeah.
Okay, so this is on our journey back.
Yes, that's right. And the stone. Do you want to cast your detect? You cast detect magic on that, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, what school was that from?
Abjuration.
Oh, was that the necklace?
Yeah, or the amulet.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. So there's some kind of protective spell on here that might be useful. Okay.
DM, when we investigated the corpse of the dead thing from the deeps, and you said that the corpse head was hollow.
Yes.
With no the skull. There was like a hole where the skull would be.
Not so much a hole. Not so much a hole. There's no hole in the body, but the head looks sort of empty. So like a empty bag.
So, assuming if a brain was to take over another body, wouldn't they have to kind of do the same to the other body? And that way, if a person doesn't have, hear me out here, and when babies are born, they don't have a full skull. You can see the brain kind of moving underneath the skin. Wouldn't that be I'm assuming that would be the same if a brain would take over. So, could we maybe check everyone's head to see if they have a full skull? Skeleton?
Okay. Yeah, alright.
Is that a little bit too far-fetched, or...?
Yeah, it's a lot of assumptions in there. Feel free to go look at people's heads if that's your jam.
Okay, I'm gonna go around to everyone's head if they allow me and feel it and make sure there's no this a full skull. There's no missing bone or anything.
Okay.
Was the empty thing about the same size as the brain?
Oh, it just looks like where its head would be.
But if it was so the empty bit of the head, was that about the same size as the brain?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did the brain look like it would be small enough to fit into everyone's skull? I carried it and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe. Let me
Okay.
try and persuade everyone. I'd be like, let me touch your heads, and I'll go around touching people's heads.
All right. So
starting with the captain.
Nina is putting on her phrenology gloves. It's the ancient pseudoscience of measuring bumps on the skull to predict their mental traits, and you're looking for a psycho killer. You'll have
I
to
can't wait for her to see what comes up for the teeth.
Yeah. Yes.
Nope.
2 horns. Can you roll a persuasion check for the captain? It's a fairly well-received idea, but some of the crew are a bit reluctant to be messed about with. But if you can persuade the captain, he will order it.
Let's try and
You
persuade.
can have advantage on the persuasion roll.
Okay. I'll see if I'm doing any better.
Okay.
Very nice.
One thing to remind you is being a bard. I think you can do an inspiration dice. Can you inspire yourself, or is it always others?
I think it's always others. Yeah.
I don't know them well enough myself, but okay.
Yeah, it says another creature other
Okay.
than yourself.
Yeah, right. Okay. So you can't just go singing how cool you are and puff yourself up. All right. Or if someone else is doing it, I guess that's when it would matter. If you're trying to, use all your resources in a non-combat situation. Okay. So he says if they allow it, then he says he's not going to force it, but you're free to go around and check people who are willing to submit to examination.
I want to make note of all the people that say no, that refuses.
Yeah, okay.
I just want to make a mental note.
Right,
And,
no means guilty.
Yeah,
So this is the thing, essentially.
Yeah, you get an idea that the captain thinks that the thing's overboard somewhere, or gone.
Okay.
So he's more worried about the ship than anything else. Okay, so this is now over the course of a day of travel. Ash, are you continuing to investigate this and muck around with this cat token?
Yes, I can do a short rest with it to kind of identify it, I suppose. I can, yeah.
Okay. After having it on your person and looking at it, investigating it closely, keeping it close to you for a time, trying to sense more about what this magic within it is. After a while, you start to feel positive about how things are going, positive about your life, positive about the direction that you're taking, and you're feeling lucky.
Oh.
And you believe that this is some sort of northern barbarian carved token of a crag cat, which is like a sort of a bit bigger than a lynx, a snowy cat, and the stones in it are black onyx, and it bestows luck on the person who attunes to it. And yeah, if you are attuned to it, wearing it around your neck and continuing to keep it by your side, you get +1 to all of your ability checks and all of your saving throws.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Keep
Well,
it in mind.
Yeah.
But you're a cleric.
Yeah, I could do with a bit of extra to my dex saves and things like that. My stats are not fantastic.
Found its keepers for this one, I think.
What is this item called? Is it in...
It is. You can look it up. It's the Stone of Good Luck. But I've just sort of reskinned it slightly.
Sure.
And it looks like whatever pirate it swallowed came from further north, or at least this totem did, because it's a It's an Arctic creature that it's carved to represent.
Ah, wow. +1 to ability checks and saving throws.
Yep.
DM, sorry. The creature we encountered you said was part undead, right?
Well, it looked like it was rotting, but you're not sure whether it was a zombie and undead or whether it was just badly diseased.
Okay, I'll just for the sake of it, I'll just cast Divine Sense.
Yeah, okay.
Do I detect anything?
Let's have a look. The body doesn't radiate anything. Not undead, certainly.
Okay.
That. Let's see. Okay. You detect that Vanifer's parcel radiates evil, and it's of a fiendish origin.
Which one? Which one was it?
The parcel from Vanifer, the Tiefling.
Oh, okay. I just mentioned it casually to the group. I didn't sense the presence of that creature, but
no, you don't.
I do sense an evil presence with this parcel here.
Yeah, yeah. So while you're doing that, while Zach's no, not Zach, who was it? Ash is examining and attuning to this stone. I presume that what you're intending to do, like everyone's been up front so far with items that they've found, if you wanted to add to your party notes, that's one way you could go about it. I'll just drag it up to the top, just to know who's gotten what in case you're doing it democratically.
Oh yeah.
But that's your call. You know, some people say, oh, if you both want it, it's no problem. Then roll for it. Or if somebody takes it, then keep a track of who's got what and make sure there's a bit of a distribution amongst the party of good gear that comes up.
Oh yeah, no hogging. Mind you, it's very rare that you get good items that's good for clerics, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to shift everyone back to just the ocean voyage, just so that we can see how we are going. Does anyone have any sort of ocean type skills where they could assist?
I'm proficient with the navigator's tools and
Ooh.
proficient with equals of water.
Okay. So you could take the role of navigator if you are willing to offer your services, and you could have a survival role. I think it's survival. No, it's navigation. Let's have a look.
It's survival.
Survival, and you could have that with advantage, and you apply your navigation proficiency bonus.
Do I just roll for survival and then add a proficiency to it? Is that it?
Yeah, add your proficiency bonus
Okay.
because you're proficient in it for the purposes
so
of this.
add 2. So it'd be 20.
Nice. Okay, so you make good time, pick your way through the ice, and almost cover twice as far as you did the previous day. So you can see I'm just marking in day 8 here. Oops. Done. And that's the end of day 8, but you're quite a bit way further back over the course of that day. Okay. Is anyone doing anything different from what you like? Previously, there was a group of you who were helping out with sailing. I presume Nina, now you're helping with navigation. Anyone else?
Jacques will help with the hull repair.
Oh yeah, okay. definitely some of it is just pumping the bilge and just trying to keep it from getting worse. But yeah, someone with a bit of muscle could get below decks and help stave that off or preventing it from getting any worse. Yeah.
I have a +1 to strength. I don't mind helping out with that after I sort of like lead funeral prayers for the fallen sailors
Okay.
in the evening.
Yep.
I can spend the day helping with the village.
Okay. Now, let's see. I'm just. Yeah, I'm just jumping into our Rime of the Frost Maiden. Just briefly, Sharpie, I'm just going to move you into the Cone of Silence, so I can. Okay, so Chris, can you hear me?
Yep. No,
Yep.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so this is the point where you go to sleep and you wake up in a sweat from this nightmare. The necromancer that you used to work for has, is kneeling over you or crouched over you with some sort of science implements, and you're asleep, comatose in some form, and you sort of wake up with a start, and you're lucky that this was just a bad dream, but it seems so vivid, almost as if it has happened in the past, but sometime in the past. That's pretty.
Oh dear.
Yeah. All right, and now with that, I'll move you back to the voice chat. Okay, we're both back, and one thing you notice that next morning is Sharpie is tossing and turning throughout the night, or at least towards the early morning, and wakes up with a start, covered in sweat, and despite the freezing below zero temperatures. If anyone can read my lips, you know exactly what I just said to Chris in the Cone of Silence. Run it through some app, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to approach Sharpie, but I'm assuming the girls sleep in a different room to the guys. Or does everybody sleep in the same bedroom?
I think it's not unreasonable that you would know that he had a bad night's sleep for some reason. It might come up at breakfast or something like that, rather than.
You hear him falling out of his hammock repeatedly.
Oh no, these are rough.
Yeah.
Does he scream into our heads,
No.
our minds?
No, there's no telepathic activity at all. He has to consciously do that. So yeah,
Let's ask him what's wrong. Yeah, let's approach him.
okay.
Nina wants to approach him. She'd be like, "You look like you had a really shitty night. What happened?"
Just bad dream.
Bad dream?
No, nothing new. No big
Okay,
deal.
no big deal. Then
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
No big deal.
All right. Tina, there's something happens with you as well. So I'll just sorry everyone, but this is just an easy way rather than me having to do secret messages that I type. It'll make it much quicker. So where are you?
Okay.
Threads, you're now in the Code of Silence. As am I. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, so from what I was just saying before, you know how you awakened last night with a closer link to your Fae patron? Not patron from the warlock sense, but now that you're actually able to manifest magic as a ranger. And you dream that night that you're walking through very dense snow and you see a white rabbit with a unicorn's horn sort of looking at you over its shoulder and then hopping away. And as you follow, you feel like following it and trudge through the snow. it hops away again, and it leads you through deeper into the woods, finally into a cave underneath a tree, where there's a incredible warm spring with mushrooms and glowing lichens and so on. You wouldn't think it could exist in this freezing temperatures, but it's actually quite warm in here, and it sort of turns to you and speaks into your mind, similar to the way Sharpie does. And it's not like a little squeaky cute voice. It's a voice of light and energy. You believe this to be possibly the voice of your patron. Maybe not directly, but it comes as a warning. It says, "The lands to the north are dying, starved of light and life. Go there, child, though the path be difficult. A veil of storm surrounds the lands, and the Queen Mab, cannot be allowed to crush the life from the lands." And this little rabbit sort of gives you a bit of a nod and pats you on the hand, and then hops off into the snow. And with that, you wake up feeling calm and incredible night's sleep. That you've just had a mystical experience, a hallelujah moment. And I'll move us back into the thing.
Great.
Okay, thanks everyone. We're all back. On the flip side, Nina, you're on the hammock near Threads, and Threads just wakes up with a big stretch, and you can describe it, Threads, I think.
Threads wakes up. She looks a bit different from the day before. She's now in her autumnness, and she wakes up and she looks extremely calm and happy and just really great. And she's had a really great dream, a really great night, and she's just feeling very happy and calm.
It's infectious, her happiness. Nina gets happy too, looking at her being happy. Can Nina ask Threads, like, what dictates your seasons? Do you know?
Well, I'm not sure, but I suppose it's kind of like how you humans just wake up in a certain mood, and that's how it is for the day.
Oh, cool. Would love to dream like you.
Yes, it was a good one.
Did you want to share?
What if one wakes up in a state of eager piety every morning? What's that?
Eager piety. That's great.
Nina,
Slight regret every time I vision.
Nina, can you do another survival with advantage? Again, counting your proficiency bonus.
Oh, 10
okay,
this time.
Okay, it's not quite a good roll. You are on more open ocean, but it's not like, even though there's less ice, either you're having to do the wrong turn or to get some sort of misjudgment on the navigation and have to backtrack a little, or you're zigzagging, I guess, so doing this sort of thing. There's day 10 for you though. And anyone else want to do anything specific over the course of the day, or are we just now in a cycle that you're just trying to make
Sharpie wants to search around for this thing again, just in case it's
Tell
still
Sharpie
here.
maybe check around the ship, like on the outside, if you can see that far, to see if it's like clinging to the ship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad plan.
Okay. Can you do another investigation for me, Sharpie? I assume someone will give you some assistance and some advice from Nina. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
20.
Oh, re-roll the 5.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
I can.
you might
That's why I'm just.
you might get more.
Just the first one this time. No, just a 20.
you don't notice see the creature, but you do see two sailors having an argument, and one of them is just laying into this other guy, and the other one's sort of just standing there, almost nonchalant, and then going about his business, ignoring him. Looks like there's things are about to get ugly.
Sharpie does not get involved unless they're actually particularly acting weird.
Okay.
What are they arguing over?
It looks like a commitment to chores. So one guy reckons he's doing all the work, and the other one is not pulling his weight. So Sharpie, you're up there and you're sort of hanging back, not getting into it, and like no one's pulling daggers or anything, but the guy that's quite incensed ends up taking a swing at the other one, and let's have a look. He clocks him across the face, and the guy sort of puts his hand to his face and almost shocked that it's come to blows, and let's see. Just roll a thing here. Okay, the guy that just got punched falls to the ground, and he's unconscious. And the other guy sort of just stands there looking at him, and then turns around and goes back to his job. Callous.
Does only Sharpie see this?
Well, Sharpie's right there, but there's others on board. Eventually, other crew come over because the guy doesn't stir, and eventually they call the bosun. The bosun, mover and shaker, comes over and looks at this guy and says, "My God, man, you've killed him!"
Ash, where were you?
This man
Run
is
along
dead.
and check for life.
This man is dead. You take him away, and then some sailors grab this guy by the arm and lead him below decks. So sorry, I missed something there. Was it Ash?
Is the person actually dead?
Yeah, or you can be called.
Yeah.
It's a small,
Yeah. If I am summoned and I go there and can I check if the person is actually just unconscious or if they're actually dead?
Can you do a medicine check for me? You can have advantage. I'm comfortable that in this situation you've got a lot of time. Nice one. 20. Okay, so you confirm that this sailor definitely is dead. You also notice some drips of blood from his ears, possibly from a head injury. But on closer examination, you can see into his ear is completely empty. His skull is empty.
Oh boy. I quickly get the attention of the nearby, my party members and say,
Come over.
this creature may be hopping bodies. I don't understand what it's doing or how it works, but there's something happening on the
Sharpie
ship.
didn't see anything leave the man when he went down?
No.
That man now. We need to...
He's in the brig.
Oh, God. We should inform the captain.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun conversation.
I will cast Detect Magic right away. just instantly, and then with like glowing silver eyes, do I see any magic on the body or
No.
anything around?
No, nothing radiates magic. You go and call the captain, and what he says, "What's all this about? My men are fighting and brawling. We're gonna 50 lashes is what I think. What do you think?"
That we think the brain may be on board and is actually taking over people's bodies, or at any rate, this person's head is actually empty. His brain is gone. That is what killed him.
You can't. You can't disintegrate a brain with a punch.
That's what she's saying.
I turned to my companion. Can you perform an autopsy? I need to go check on that other person whilst we still have detect magic up, and he's in the brig.
All right. Yeah. Sharpie will start cutting.
You roll up your sleeves, put on the apron.
Absolutely.
We'll switch back to the ship. Let's see here. So, for selecting, so Sharpie, you're going to be in this captain's room.
He probably wouldn't just cut him up there, like take him out on the deck somewhere where he can wash it out.
Yeah, good idea. So foredeck looks good. Maybe down here where the catapult is.
For bodily disposal?
Yeah. That's how they do burial at sea around here.
Autopsy's done. Twang!
The captain's in room 4 here. Where's everyone else want to be at this point?
Nina's just looking out to see what Sharpie's doing. She's just curious.
Don't go around with solo for the moment.
Okay, so
someone should go with Louise too.
Yeah. So Ash, you're investigating the brig.
Well, the man in the brig. Yeah. First, I will, at distance, I will just scan him with detect magic, but I have no hopes for finding anything. But otherwise, I would like to have a team member present for interrogation.
Okay, so Threads is over there with a and Jackus is there too. Nina, you're with Sharpwise with Elros. Elros, you're in the bunks there. Do you want to be up on the top deck where the baluster is, or overlooking Sharpie and Nina?
Yeah, that's where I'm going to be, up there.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm literally just up there, just playing a little fiddle.
Yeah, okay.
And just keep myself entertained.
Okay, so while Sharpwise and Nina are filleting a sailor, you're up in the forecastle keeping an eye out. The others are investigating Ash and Jackus.
Nina's not filleting; she's just watching.
Oh yeah,
filleting. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All
right. Ash. There's a guy with his hands tied in front of him, and he's just looking at you.
Tell me your name and date of birth.
What?
Let's have a look.
Good guy. Good guy. Bad guy.
Just thought,
actually,
he won't know.
can I say that I'm in this room, so I'm just keeping an eye, so he's not alone with the guy who potentially has the brain inside him.
Okay. He says name's Doug.
Member of the crew that can vouch for this. Like, who has the records?
Yeah, the crew can vouch that that definitely is Doug. Doug the sailor.
I will say to Doug, did you notice anything strange about that person you accosted?
He wasn't doing his job. Gave him a thump.
Was he acting strange at all? Just that he was shirking his duties?
Yeah. Lazy sailors. Deserve a whack. You can have an insight. Ash. Jackus, you're there close enough to be able to give Ash a nudge. So getting advantage. Okay. So between the lot of you that are watching this guy, you think that he is lying. He's trying to deceive you somehow.
Take out my battle axe.
You're going to do
What's
something.
that?
Gets out his battle axe, he said. Okay, I'm just going to move up to the top here. Sharpie, you do your filleting, and it's hard work, and you need to cut through bone and chest cavity. Oh, where are you targeting, by the way?
So basically, obviously, he's trying to find the exit point. Well,
Right.
where there's brains.
Yeah. Okay.
Brent. So is there any hole in the head, and then is there anything in the chest?
Yeah. Okay. So there's nothing in the chest. You sort of crack open that sternum and pull it out, and all the bits are there. You can find no exit point from where something might have come out of it. A brain, at least. But you're certain through the autopsy and investigating that the whole cranium cavity is empty. And what's more odd is the skull's intact.
So intact skull, missing brain, everything else is fine.
Yes. Otherwise, nothing to see here.
Alright, well, I mean, Nia's probably seen all this, but
Yeah,
any ideas?
First, I'll use precipitation, so you kind of clean up your hands from all the blood.
Yeah.
Now that's
Nice.
useful.
And-
Hey.
Yeah. What? I want to know, like, did you see the captain's in his room?
He would be above decks at the moment while you're performing
okay.
your autopsy.
Okay.
And querying the, but there would be sailors around to observe the
So,
investigation.
like, it's to prove that this guy has no brain. So
Yes.
everyone's seen that he has no brain.
That's it. Yep.
Okay.
And with that, I'm just going to jump back down to you, Ash. Okay, you feel this powerful will. Suddenly, Jackus and Threads, you see Ash clutch her head with her hands, and you feel this powerful will sort of just blast and wash over your psyche, and you need to do an intelligence saving throw.
Oh boy.
Okay, you pass. And manage to fight through this blast of mental force that seems to almost crush your will. And looking across at this guy with his hands tied up, he's smiling at you.
He's the one. It's inside him.
Let's go initiative.
Whoa. Okay.
I'll go back to the other page and grab a sailor.
Is Sharpie and Ina have to roll for initiative too?
Oh, yeah, roll anyway.
Aye.
Yep.
In case, I don't know.
Okay. Advanced. Add 10. Alright, I'll minimise that a little bit. Okay. Is everyone happy that they're in there? Let's have a look. Okay, I'll just sort the turn order, and we're off. Ash, you are right there. You've been blasted, but you can act. What do you want to do?
Are we able to access this? I will, as my first action, I will cast Bless on the three of us in this room.
Okay. So all three of you are blessed. Do you want to move?
Is this person tied to a post, or how does it work? Was he
No,
just like...
he's just sitting down in the room with his hands tied.
Okay. I will move out of melee range of him, just in case.
Okay. You move back a little bit past Threads and Jackus.
I'll just say three of us in like a soft moonlight, and I will help us resist, as she says. You get a d4 to your int saves.
Okay. Nina, you hear a cry. It's clearly Ash in pain and in shock from below.
She turns to Sharp while she's like, something's happening. Let's go, and she'll dash off downstairs.
That
Okay.
doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move you just to try and keep the distances accurate, because we're not on the right scale here. So if I go 10, 20, 30, gets you to here. A dash will get you to at least within sight of the door. Or if you want to cast a spell or do any action at the base of the stairs, you can do that. But you can't see the guy.
She'll dash.
Okay, all right. Cool. And do you want to get into the room, or are you letting Jackus? It's pretty cramped.
I just want to be able to. Is the door to the room's open, right?
It's open, yeah.
I'll just stay outside for now
Okay.
until I'll be like, what's happening?
Okay. Sharpwise. Nina goes dashing past you. Do you want to?
Well, Sharpwise has got his knife in his hand, because
Yep.
that's what he's doing, and he's going to dash down after Nina, but probably go into the room.
Okay. So dash will get you into the room, adjacent to this guy.
And basically yell, "Is this the one?" and ready in action just to stab him if Jackus goes in.
Yeah. Okay. So because you can bonus action dash, can't you?
Yeah, so dash, bonus action, and then ready action to my
Okay.
actual action to stab.
Yep. Okay. If you get attacked, or what's the condition that you're gonna?
If Jackus comes in to attack.
Okay. All right.
The Sharpwise doesn't know what's
Yeah.
going on yet.
Right. So Threads, you're there. You're just outside the door. If you want to do anything, you can it's just a step to the side to be able to see into the room. If you want to do anything.
Okay, can I see into the room at this point, or would I have to step in front of the door?
You'd have to step in front of the door, but you can then step back. You don't, because you'll have plenty of movement to do that.
I'm gonna stay here.
Yep.
Ready in action that if the guy comes out of the room, that I will shoot him with my longbow.
Okay.
And then I would also like to call out to Ash, "Are you okay?
Okay.
Like, what did he do to you? Are you okay?"
Ash is sort of shaking her head, but looks okay.
He assaulted my mind. It's in there. The brain's inside this one.
Okay. Sharpwise, this guy looks at you, and you feel a wave of mental force wash over you. You need to do an
Doesn't look good.
intelligence saving throw.
"21.
Oh, happy days! So same. You clutch. You feel it. You feel the direction, but you manage to retain control of your faculties, and you've still got to hold action if someone else comes in and aggresses someone. Elros, where are you? Oh, you're up the top deck. You hear all the more action going on.
Just out of curiosity, is there a window on the brig?
There are some portholes, but usually they're closed to keep out the cold and the weather. It's more for light than getting in and out. But from the inside, you can unlatch them and open them up.
So internal.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll have to run in and dash.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like, so 60 feet, full movement.
Yeah. Okay, so the dash gets you to the base of the stairs. You can't see the guy, but you can see everyone's crowded around this door and looking stressed. Jackus.
I'll ask Ash. Are you sure the brain is in this?
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. There's a lot of kids sound in the background.
I'm just going to check Jackus's volume.
Oh, sorry. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm already at maximum for Jack Discord.
Okay.
Oh shit! Sorry. Hello.
That's better.
Could you not hear me?
That's better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I asked Ash if he's sure that the brain is inside,
Okay.
and I'll just charge in, cast the bonus action Divine Favor,
Okay.
and take a swing.
Okay, and you are blessed, so you get plus D4 to hit as well, I believe.
Yeah. All right.
The attack is with advantage because this guy is restrained.
Oh, all right. So one more.
Yep.
Roll one more.
Okay, so you hit the guy and just take the damage from the first roll. Whatever
Okay.
it is.
Yep.
So
16.
okay, you thump the guy with your axe. Massive blow. It drops him. Where are we? Token.
And the brain appears where?
Clearly dead, and directly in that spot, sort of standing on the corpse, is this brain with what looks like lion legs, claws. That would be
Stab
enough. Yeah, that would have trigger your cut and parry sharpwise. So have a go.
$22.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. That is going to hit.
Yep, 9 damage. And
Okay, so that's
yell. It's here. It's got. We don't let it get out again.
Okay. But, yeah. I'm just also updating the health bar for you. Da-da. Sorry. There we go. So yeah, massive blow. You slash across the side of this thing, and that's it. Jackus, that was you. That's what triggered Ash. So Ash, it's back to you again. It's a bit crowded in there with 2 characters in the room. If you probably move behind Jackus, you could get sight onto this thing. Ash, 6 seconds. No sound. Oh, he's got. Is it a big?
Oh, sorry. Is it my go again?
Yeah, it is.
Aha! I shall. Oh. What? But what just happened? So the guy is dead, and is the brain out, or?
The brain is out, and it just got stabbed by the halfling, by Sharpwise. It's injured.
I will sacred flame the brain.
Okay. It has to do some sort of saving throw, right?
Yes, deck save.
Dex saving throw.
Oh god. I roll so badly.
Okay. And
Oh.
That makes it anyway.
saving throws. Yeah, so it's going to pass, and it's a save or none, isn't it? Okay, so it definitely dodges out of the way as this sacred light appears from above, spotlighting the area just next to it. Any other action or movement? Because you've had to move to here, just to behind Jackus to be able to see. But if you wanted to move out of the way, you can sort of ping pong back in and out.
I just shout, "Don't let it escape!" And then I will position myself where I guess across on the other side, so it can't like get past us, like form like a wall, like maybe here or something.
Okay,
Assuming there's like somewhere here.
right. Nina, you've seen all this happen. You can see the brain. You're horrified at what's just jumped out of this guy. What do you want to do?
She tried to grapple it last time. She probably didn't work, so she knows just to stab it now.
Okay.
Is she able to go up to it and slash it?
I don't think you're going to be able to get within melee range. Oh, yes, you are. I'm just threads. I'm not moving you out of the way, but because we could have 4 people in the room and you're out of it. So if you want to come in here like this, Nina, and then go there, and then there's 3 people in the room, and Nina, that means you can still dart in and have a shot from past.
Okay,
Jackus.
great. So yeah,
Nina.
I'm just gonna let my sword do the talking for me.
All right. This is a rapier. I'm just going to slash it.
Yeah.
Ooh, plus 9 is a miss. Again, it leaps to the side and dodges. And
I'm gonna can I go to one of the windows? Is there windows in this room?
There's portholes along where the main hold is, where you've just come from.
Okay, can I go back to that area and just make sure that he's not... Is it... To get to the portholes, would the brain be leaving the room?
No. Yes, it would have to leave the room to go to the portholes.
Okay, then Nina's gonna... She just feels like he's not doing so well in that situation. She'll probably leave it to someone else to handle the brain, and she'll duck out and try and block the portholes.
Okay. All right. As you sort of leave, it lashes out at you with its claw.
Yep.
Hitting armor class.
Miss.
I have to apply a to hit bonus yet. Hitting armor class 17.
Oh yes, that hits.
Okay. It's the slash does.
Oh wow.
15 points of damage.
Damn.
Are you conscious?
I am conscious, but I'm very hurt. She'd be like, "Oh, this guy has a nasty claw."
Yeah, savage. It's like Chucky.
Yeah.
Chucky with a scalpel. Ouch. Okay, so Nina's almost killed by this thing just in one slash after casually.
Is it 13? Is it or 15?
Where are we?
13. 7 plus 6.
No, my mistake. It's not a 13. It's a 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So not quite as bad, but still not what you'd expect from a tiny cat-like size creature. Okay. Where are we up to? That's Nina. Sharpwise. You're a free agent.
Well, stabbing worked like all the other times, or continue with stabbing?
Yeah, old reliable.
I definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of these things' claws.
Yeah. Sneaky knife?
Nope. Second knife. Ooh, nope, that's an 11 on that one.
That's going to miss as well. So 2 knives slash in and it leaps to the side. Threads.
So Threads, she's filled with genuine concern for her friends, and so she steps forward. I'd like to cast Hunter's Mark on the brain,
Okay.
and shoot it with an arrow.
All right. Roll to hit. I think you are blessed as well, so you get an extra D4.
14
All right. Armor class 14 hits.
for 6 damage, and then do I add a d6 as well?
You do for the Hunter's Mark.
So 9 damage.
Okay. Another big hit, and this thing sort of starts to just limp along. It's clearly close to death, with this longbow arrow poking out both ends of it. You could skewer the thing with an arrow, given the size of it. Sharpwise, this thing attacks you and hits armor class 16.
That'll hit.
Oh, it does 4 damage.
I take it.
And then you feel again this psychic assault as it sort of looks at your head. Roll an intelligence saving throw. Oh.
Oof.
Okay.
Oh, worst roll of all.
Okay. You take 7 psychic damage. Are you still conscious there?
Okay. Yes, I am.
Okay. But for the rest of you, it looks like he's punch drunk. He's reeling, incoherent, still standing on his feet, but otherwise incapable of action. He can't even move. He's just sort of standing there waving about on his feet. Elros, you've seen Sharpwise just standing there, rocking side to side. What do you want to do?
To the room and shock and grasp this thing.
Okay. You can go in and sneak past Jackus and go to the spot that Nina held before. Roll to hit with your shocking grasp. Zzz. Do we have sparkles or do we have thunder?
Full lightning with that one.
Oh yeah, okay. You channel your inner Thor. What's the 24? It rolls a hit. Oh yeah, you easily hit it. And this thing twitches in your hands. You pick it up as it's sort of legs poking out, and then it just explodes. And there's bits of it all over the room. You sort of shake off your hands, and that's how it's done.
Top
Yeah.
forecast.
Eventually, Sharpwise, you sort of come around. Only takes a couple of rounds, but you felt your like a psychic assault.
Oh. Don't want to feel that again. Tell me it's dead, right? It's dead?
He's
Not-
he's dead.
Did not want to be looking for that thing again.
What is your intelligence, Sharpwise?
14.
Okay. All right. Yep, that's fine. So there's a chance if you do if this thing manages to psychic crush you, that it reduces your intelligence to 0, but you stave that off. So what are you going to do? Well, you've killed this
Well, better show the evidence to the captain.
this tiny aberration, so that it's not. When I say exploded, there's probably a bit of a corpse there that you can take up. But Elros has done a good job on it, and it's pull the arrow out and head up to the captain and show him. The whole crew are horrified, but thankful. You can notch up on your belts an intellect devourer.
That's great. Sharpwise is going to go collapse somewhere.
All right. Any other actions you want to do?
So Threads, when she was in spring and winter, was very. She wasn't bothered about really anything going on around her, but now she's in autumn. She's very obviously wanting to help everybody, making sure they've all got food, maybe a nice cup of tea, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And maybe she's at the moment probably trying to help with getting rid of the water in some way.
Okay. So you sort of everyone tries to go back to their day job as best they can. Someone's given the grisly task of mopping out that room. And Nina, are you going to take up the mantle as navigator again and have a navigation roll for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nina still wants to help out. She loves sailing on the ship.
Okay. With advantage. Okay.
So
All right.
13.
So it's a good day's sail, but not huge. In your opinion, you're probably just only a short way from Farshire now, and the next day you arrive back in Farshire. So I'll just mark up your days. Draw text. Day 10. And what it means is when you arrive in Farshire, you've got time to kill that day. You probably arrive in the wee hours of the morning on day 10. Okay, you get back into Farshire. The local militia come and they recognise you obviously from only a few days prior when you gave the militia a hand, and is there anything particular you want to do in Farshire? The captain says, right, well from here, there's going to have to be a change of plan for the deliverers. It's going to be some time now before they can repair the ship properly to attempt the journey back to Oralspark, and so he, with the rest of the crew and a couple of other deliverers that you're aware are also on board, will make the trip to Oralspark when they can. And the onus will then be for you to strike out separately north from Farshire and on to try and get through to 10 towns by land, right? Because now that it looks like it's going to be impossible by sea. You're given the parcels to take with you that are destined for Icewind Dale. So
Nina, she knows this is a logging town, so it's good with a lot of wood. She wants to go buy some torches for herself.
Okay. So during the day,
Shopping.
you can. During the day, you can go through and get anything less than 100 gold pieces. You can buy for its price as listed in the player's handbook. And I think with that, we'll pick up from here. Let's just take a 5 minutes or let's say 10 minutes, enough to go and get a coffee or whatnot, and then we can carry on the overland trek if that's okay.
Yep.
Sure.
All right. So back in was it 9:35? So 9:45 we can come back in.
I worked it out.
Oh yeah. Oh, is it? What do you need to do to
Shift for advantage, control for disadvantage.
Okay. All right. So there's a way you can automatically chuck an advantage or a disadvantage in there, and it'll
Great.
Which, so you've headed a day north from Fireshear. You've at least Sharpie appears to be on the run from someone or something that's murdered the innkeeper where he stayed last and ransacked his rooms. But you're well out and well into the snow by now. Okay, that night, it's below freezing. It's between 0 and -10, and not cold, sufficiently cold that your cold weather gear doesn't provide immunity effectively from the elements. So you're all good. You go for it.
Oh no! If we're good, then we're good. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so you're rugged up. You don't have a big camp or anything like tents and things like that, and you don't have a decent cave or shelter. So
Nina bought a tent, so she'll invite Ash to stay with her in her tent.
okay, all right. So you do
She
have
hates the
okay.
cold. She bought a lot of stuff with her from
Okay.
Fireshear.
Okay, so if you've got a tent, you're not gonna. You've effectively got shelter, but for everyone
Okay.
else, it's you wouldn't want it to get much worse than this.
Okay, great.
Okay. Okay, so the next day you continue heading on. So the snow, when you wake up and come out, the snow is sort of at least knee deep, and it's really hard going.
I'll be up near the front, blasting firebolt
Okay.
at the ground, basically, to help melt that snow,
Okay.
to make it easier on us.
All right, so you can jump up the front and sort of blast away, assuming that Threads is still sort of telling you which way to go to guide the path.
Yeah. Do you want...
I want to give Threads
Shopwise will
a little
do
bit of
that,
inspiration today as
Okay.
she guides us.
Okay. How long does the inspiration last once you give it?
10 minutes.
Okay.
How does that work?
Well, you give it. You say, "Hey, Threads, you're great. You're cool. You can do anything." And for the next 10 minutes, she believes that.
Okay.
Great.
Did you want me to
Thank
do
you.
some rolls for my firebolt, or just
No,
let it...
I'll just take it into maybe I'll reduce the difficulty level, or have that sort of effect on your progress. But you find that while if you're casting a cantrip every 6 seconds as you're just walking along, you might be you probably find pretty quickly that you're just casting it when there's some particularly big obstacle in your way. Like you're walking faster than a firebolt can melt snow, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yep. So, you pretty quickly figure out that, okay, I'm not going to continually cast it. It'll also exhaust you because it's sort of like doing mental work constantly, rather than just travel. So it'd be quite exhausting casting a spell over and over continuously throughout the day.
It's mainly directed at harder, harder bits of the road.
Yep. Okay, but nevertheless, you're making some decent going. What I'll do is I'll get Threads with Sharpwise's assistance to do another survival roll for today's roll.
Nice.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so with your advantage, you've got a... Oh, is that a second one? I'm missing that. Why is there two there?
No. I just did the 718 is a test one, and then the one I just did now is 23.
Okay, cool.
12.
So the difficulty you're facing now is you're into a full-on, you can see less than 20 feet. It's almost seems as if it's night, or at least twilight, just because the storm, the clouds above you are so thick. There's a fairly strong wind, although not quite blizzard-like. Let's see. You're finding that while you've got winter gear, it's not sort of mountaineering gear, and you could be better equipped. Having your 10 GP, winter gears is okay, but you're definitely feeling the cold now. You're clearly now in a snowstorm and trying to sort of fight your way through it. So it's starting to get really slow going. But there's still plenty of day left. But you haven't passed anything that looks like a place where you could just take shelter. And threads, you're fairly confident that just standing still here is not gonna work, or not gonna be survivable. What is there anything? Are you pressing on, or what's the go? Has anyone got anything they wanted to say?
I relay to everybody, staying still is going to kill us. We need to keep moving.
Okay.
Hundelstone can't be too far away.
No, you reckon you must be close, based on how far you've gone so far. What you'll need to do at this point is roll a... Let me see. Roll a Constitution saving throw. This is for everyone.
Is this for the cold thing?
Yeah. Elros seems to be having he's just skipping through the snow.
I'm just like brushing off the snow.
Yeah. If anything, the only issue for you, Elros, is it's still sort of difficult terrain as far as pushing through the snow, but the cold of it doesn't seem to affect you.
Yep.
So we've got Jackus, and Nina, Threads with a 10, Sharpwise's...
I clicked on Con. It rolled a dice in D&D Beyond. I think I got a 19, but it was a damn
Right.
dice.
Okay, so what you do...
Okay, I got a 3 in that.
So you figured out how? What the difference between clicking on Con or clicking on the
What?
save?
No, I click in the same space. I click on the bubble. I just don't know why. Maybe I clicked not hard enough, or accidentally,
In your settings for your extension, go down to send beyond 20 rolls to restrict where the rolls are sent to. Only roll 20 tabs, and it will show it up.
Okay. So Nina, you're running point here, and you're the one that cops the exhaustion. So you've got a level of exhaustion from pushing through all this blizzard, which means disadvantage to your ability checks.
How do I mark that on? Is it like a play?
Where is that? That's Nina, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll mark it on here
Okay.
with a blue dot because you're cold.
Okay.
How to do that? Send roll 20. Okay, is everyone else is 10 or above, I believe. Taking into account Ash's rolling malarkey. Okay. You're still pressing on through very thick snow. The wind is howling in your ears, and it's even difficult to hear each other. Right, I'm going to need another wisdom wisdom survival check with advantage from you, Threads. What you're now doing is trying to find your way through the blizzard.
20.
Okay, so can you have another roll? This is sort of
For
like
advantage?
yeah, with advantage, yeah.
So 2 rolls.
Yes. So you're making progress, and you need a certain number of successes before you get to a certain number of fails. Okay.
21.
Oh, you're a machine of survival of navigation. Do another one.
Do it again.
Again. All right, going out
Keep rolling.
with a natural 20. Okay, so you got a 20, a 21, and a 24. With that being a crit. You keep everyone on track, although they're slogging through this furrow that you're making. You finally see a light in the distance, but with that comes the sounds of roars, and you can hear the sounds of combat in the distance. And I'm going to move you to another map.
Oh no!
Let me know what the hell
Okay, I'll turn
are
that
you
down
using
a
to
bit.
make that noise?
Sorry? Something's making that noise.
What are you actually using to make it?
My library of audio files.
How do you shut that off? Everything on Roll20 is just turned off.
Okay. It'll play through once for theme, and then I'm just going to move me back to it and place your characters. I've just got threads on there at the moment. It's important that you don't move your character around here until it's actually your turn. Okay, and what we'll do... Yeah, so there's a marching order. That's fine. That's with... Sharpwise, you should be at max hit points, by the way, just in case you want to... And same with Ash. It looks like you've got a couple of nicks and bruises there. So, if I pan out... Some of you can see, and some of you are in complete darkness. I don't know, how does it look to you guys? Are you walking through darkness?
Yep.
I have dark vision, so I can see, but
Yeah.
walking through thick darkness, yeah.
So for most of you can't actually see through this blizzard. So what I'm going to do is, so who can't see? I think that's Sharpwise. You don't have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't. I'm just a human.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do just for now is I'm going to give you vision. Let's see. But just enough to see through the storm. Can you see now, Nina?
Yep.
Okay. And Sharpie, you're going to be the same.
You've already given me a lantern light by the looks.
Oh, so you've got it. Oh, that's right. I've done it in here. Yep. Okay. Cool. So you've got some sort of light source yourself, even though it's not actually a light source. That's how far you can see through it. Okay. So, can you see on the map that there's a bonfire of some description in the distance?
Yes.
And you can hear this battle going on, and right at the edge of that light, there's some sort of human in combat with something in the shadows. And I'm going to open up our initiative order. I'm just going to cull it so that everyone can throw themselves in there. Okay, and now you can go for it. Let's all roll initiative.
need.
Let's have a look. I'm just putting mine in. And another one for me for the warrior. Oh,
Huh. We're just missing Ash for the initiative.
yeah. Remember to highlight your icon and then click it. Good. Okay,
Splendid.
so I'm scrolling out. You can see the terrain that you're in. There's a bit of a path through, but otherwise snow. It's twilight, and you can see the dead trees all around you. Nina, what do you want to do?
She wants to walk her 30 feet towards a bonfire,
Okay. So you can walk your 30, yep.
and she will dash another 30 feet, and she can't see anything. She'll just hold her action in case someone comes to her,
Okay.
and that's it.
All right, you get close.
Oh, she wants to yell out. She wants to yell out, "We're coming!"
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, this guy battles on. I'm not going to reflect that on the sheets, but you can tell, and then you can see this. We can't see it, but you can hear something very large at the limit of his vision. Let's see. Can you actually see the token of the large creature within the circle of light?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Me neither.
So
I can see a circle around that, but I can't see any other tokens.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you can tell there's a battle, but you don't see it. Elros, it's up to you. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to move up my 30 feet, just so I can see sort of better, which is there.
Okay.
And I'm going to ready a firebolt in if something comes into my view.
Okay. Threads.
I'd like to move up as well, 30 feet.
Okay.
And I would also like to ready an arrow if anything hostile comes into view.
Okay. Well, you're fairly confident that there's a creature in this location here. And I'm not sure what the range is. Let's see. So that's probably... Is that long range for you, for a longbow? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can still hit that.
Yeah, so you could shoot. You can't see it, so it would be a disadvantage, but you could shoot into that distance if you wanted to just shoot at the creature that's probably in that area.
No, I don't. I'm going to be a bit cautious.
Okay.
I don't know what's there, so just
Okay.
going to want to get a better look at it first.
Just hold. Sharpwise.
Alright, is there any penalty to dashing in this snowy environment?
Yeah, you can... no, you can dash. No issue.
If you dash
To the
that,
edge. I'm just going to dash to the edge of that light there.
Okay. 80 foot. So bonus action and then dash and then double dash. Speedy halfling. Okay, go for it. Move yourself up and see if that lights anything up. Not yet. Jackus. And Ash, she'll be up to just after this. Jackus, are you there? Are you with us? Can't hear you. We'll come back to it. Ash?
Okay. I will. Is it my turn or is it Jack?
Yeah, go for it. We can come back to it.
Cool.
Oh, Jackus is
I will also dash 60 feet.
Okay.
And just that was the draw tool. Oh wow, I was very accurate with that. How about that? Okay, and with my 60 feet of dark vision, I have a pretty sizable circle. I see the fire. Do I see anything else?
No. Oh, unless you can see it, but I don't think so. Whatever's lit up by your visibility.
Oh, I can just about see something here.
Yeah.
That pink circle.
You think
Can't
it's,
quite.
You think it's,
Yeah.
it's a human-sized figure fighting.
Oh yes, I will echo Nina's shout. Was it or Tina that said, "We're coming, hold on."
Okay. Jackus, I couldn't hear you, but I can see you did a dash as well. So Nina.
Okay, she's gonna do her action of 30 feet.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah,
I can hear you, Jackus, now.
Something was wrong with my audio a while back. But I moved my token 60 feet.
Yeah, no worries. I could infer what you were doing from seeing you move.
And she's gonna hold her action until she can see, and she'll continue yelling out, "What's happening?"
Okay.
We're nearly there.
Okay. Fighting continues. You see, it's large, shaggy, and white. You see a claw come into the light from this bonfire. You can also see that there's some sort of shack or a little hut slightly off the ground, but otherwise a wooden structure at the edge of the clearing as well. Elros.
First thing I'm going to do is cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
And then I move up my 30 feet plus my additional 10 feet with the temporal thing, so 40 feet,
So you get your back.
which is right there, yeah.
Okay. Threads.
I would also like to move 30 feet.
Okay.
Okay, I see something.
Yeah.
I definitely see something.
All right.
Same here.
You see this huge, hulking, white, shaggy beast with claws, arms almost reaching to the ground. It's not slender or lithe of any form. It's just this great big bear type thing, with a sort of bestial face and curved black horns.
Would I know what it is?
I'm just finding a handout for you.
Very helpful. Elvis.
Yeah, it's a better picture of it.
Here we go.
Nina, you're probably going to need to back up a bit.
A Yeti.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got black feet, claws, and face, but otherwise long, white, shaggy fur, big horns, and massive incisors.
Okay, and at this point, I'm pretty sure it's hostile. So I'm going to shoot at it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, go for it. Roll to hit.
13 to hit.
13 hits, sinks into the shaggy skin, and you hear it cry out. "Ah!"
Ah, I forgot my hunter's mark.
Yeah.
I'll just cast it afterwards for my next turn.
You can do is still your bonus action after doing your damage, so that you don't have to do it next turn.
But I don't get the damage this turn, right?
Not this turn, no.
Yeah, so as my bonus action, I'll cast it so I can use it next turn.
And how much damage did you do with that longbow? 7, is that right?
7. Yeah, 7.
Okay. When this comes into the light, you see that this guy has just been put unconscious. He might be dead or he might not. It's not like clearly like he's had his head bitten off or anything crazy. But this thing has dropped him in the time that you've rushed in. That was threads.
I would like to call out to Nina. Get behind. Back up. Get behind Sharpwise.
Yeah. Okay. Sharpwise, it's up to you now.
Standing behind a halfling's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Very true.
He'll dodge like a man.
You're on a pony.
It'll go straight through.
Yeah.
Sharpwise, 6 seconds.
Alright, so Sharpwise can't see. He's just going to move up for about 15 foot.
Yep.
20 foot so he can see if he can see something.
Okay.
Alright, that guy's on the ground. That sucks. He's going to fire a slingshot at it because, well, it's here. Why not?
Yep.
Miss horribly.
Oh.
And then back up here behind the fire with a dash action.
Okay, with your bonus. Yep. Jackus.
Alright. I'll move 30 feet. And cast Divine Favor for my bonus action.
Okay.
And then I will throw a javelin.
At the Yeti?
Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
this one.
Go for it.
Nice.
23 is a hit. Doing
Alright,
11 damage?
11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all I can do.
Okay. So you run up, hurl a javelin in, does damage, you get the thing cries out in pain. Ash, what do you want to do? And I think Nina, you'll be after that.
Okay.
Ash? I'm just
To advance closer so I can see what is going on.
Yep. 30 foot?
Yep, 30
Can you get
feet.
to that one?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so the human is dead or just downed?
You don't know if he's dead or not, but
Okay.
he's just on a clump of furs and cloaks and capes.
Oh, actually, let check the distance may be relevant. Oh, 35 feet. Hang on. It's a 30-foot range.
No.
Okay, I will Sacred Flame on the surviving creature.
Okay. He fails and takes the damage, whatever that is.
Eight radiant damage from a moonbeam. And as a bonus action, I will cast Healing Word on the fallen person.
Okay. He, you see him stir. He's definitely moving, so he wasn't dead. And otherwise not sure of the effect because you can't actually see the injuries and things beneath all those furs.
I just
If any-
just like a shadow moonlight, and he gets 7 hit points. I
Okay,
really know.
awesome. If anyone has seen The Revenant, this guy's just fought a bear. Nina.
Nina's still trying to gonna get closer.
Okay.
1, 2,
Yep.
3. Okay. She's definitely seen. She's assuming. I'm assuming as my character now that she's seen this before, right?
Yes, and there is
Yep.
there's two of them. This warrior seems to have killed one, but been taken out by the other one.
She feels a lot of vitriolic hate for this. She is going to cast Bane on him. We'll try and cast Bane on him.
Saving throw?
Saving throw of 13 is
Okay.
a charisma. Oh, did I roll it? I don't.
No, I'll roll the save. Okay, he fails it.
And she's gonna back away.
Okay.
just
How far
just
can
1, 2. Oh
Okay.
no. Yeah, just 2.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
And she's gonna yell out to everyone, be careful.
Okay. This guy jumps to his feet and does picks up a weapon at his side and swings it and attacks this thing. Hitting it.
Why is he running away? Oh my god.
Okay, this thing goes. It attacks him with a claw and drops him once again. It then turns its head and looks at you, Nina. And these, what were just black pits of eyes, glow blue-white for a moment, just like the red eyes of a cat in the dark, but this is like ice blue. And you need to do a Constitution saving throw. Okay, you feel it's not fear. You just feel frozen in place. There's potential that this thing could scare you stiff. But you push through that. It then wades towards you, and with its left hand, it attacks. Hitting armor class 25.
Oh, yes.
As it hits you, it does 7 points of slashing damage with the claws, and it emanates. It seems to be a creature of cold, and each of its wounds that it slashes into you are almost frostbitten in the gouges where the blood starts to leak, and you take 5 cold damage as well, so 12 in total.
Oh, 12 in total, yeah.
Yep. You have seen these creatures up close before. And Elros.
Firebolt at
Okay.
the Yeti.
All right, roll to hit.
I don't think that hits.
Okay, the firebolt goes sailing past and misses it. Any movement?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to keep this thing at a distance.
Okay, Threads. You've got a hunter's mark on this thing. You quickly move to a flanking position from the looks of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up so I get a clearer view, and I'm also, I don't know, in a better position generally.
Sure. So move off to one side, get an angle, and
And fire.
release. 16 is a hit. Another longbow arrow beers in, doing 7, and roll your hunter's mark as well, the d6. Okay, so 9 damage.
Yep.
Okay. Sharpwise, you're on the other side of the bonfire there.
All right, Nina's looking pretty savage just in one blow of this thing.
Yeah.
So he's just
one
going to
claw.
move up, just to provide a bit of a distraction,
Okay.
and swipe at it with a knife.
Stabby, stabby. Okay.
No, oh well,
Nines
and
miss.
second knife.
Oh, 2 9s.
Another 9.
You think you're going to hit...
Not trying too hard to
No.
distract it. You know, I mean, you don't want to actually have it hit me.
No, you just want to make a showing. Yeah, you go for its body, and where you stab it, it's just fur, and there's no creature there, so it's probably skinnier than it looks. But Jackus, you are now in charging range.
Alright, I'll move behind the Yeti
Okay,
and take a swing with my longsword.
longsword,
With my battle axe.
battle axe, 2-handed, 1-handed.
No, just one-handed,
Yeah, okay.
because I'm using a shield.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. So shield and battle axe, armor class 15, big battle axe hits, and with your divine favor and the slashing, what is it, 13? Is that right?
Yep, 13. Right.
All right. This massive killing blow. You run in and finish it off. It took you a while to get there, but finally the fighter gets into combat. And this thing drops.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What now?
All right, how about this fire? That's amazing.
Yep.
I will just
Actually, Sharpwise is going to go back and fetch his pony.
Okay.
Can I chop off one of its horns?
Okay. Anybody else?
I will step, so I'm within 30 or 25 feet of the fallen person,
Oh yeah.
and as an action, I'll look up and pray to Our Lady of Silver, and there'll be a huge beam of moonlight falling down, and I channel divinity. So I heal Nina for 5, and I will heal the NPC for 5.
Okay.
I would like to keep an eye on the general tree area to make sure there's not another one coming for us.
Okay. This guy stands up and brushes the snow off and says, "Oh, thank you." And then he looks around and says, "This blizzard will kill you just as sure as the Yetis if we stay out in it. Come, come!" And he gestures towards his cabin.
We all eagerly follow.
Okay. All right. You find it surprisingly spacious inside. He's got very little furniture, so there's room for you all to fit quite comfortably. He's got a fire going, and it's pretty well insulated, so solid logs. He sort of takes a bit of his outside cloak off and hangs it on the wall, and puts a two-handed sword hanging on the back of the door, right beside the door. There's a broom and a mop next to it. And then he sort of finally turns around. He's got a great big long beard, very bushy, comes out almost as wide as it is long. And he says, "Alvan Shorthelm, thanks for the aid. What's
My pleasure.
This is an odd sight. Yetis are commonplace, but characters like yourselves, not so much in the middle of blizzards."
No, we're making our way to Humblestone. What's the
Hundlestone.
town?
Yeah, yeah.
Humblestone.
Yeah,
We're on our way to Humblestone.
I'll take you there, no problem. It's only a short journey from here. We're actually in the outskirts of Hundlestone here. This guy's a giant of a man, dark-skinned, huge muscles, standing just under 6.5 feet tall.
What are you doing out here, living out here by yourself?
He says, I was raised by dwarves in Hundlestone, and I use this as a shack for hunting and hunting and trapping.
Are we able to fillet these guys to get some fur, or it wouldn't help us with the cold weather gear at all?
He says, yeah, probably. If you've got some skills with tanning and so on, you could probably look to.
I can do that. I know how to work leather.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So if you head out into the blizzard, it's going to be a bit tricky, but what's leather working? I guess dexterity. Just to do a clean job of it. Okay. All right. You got a. So one of them you make a bit of a mess of, and you're probably not going to get much from it other than trimming, but you get enough of a solid piece of hide that you could make a Yeti cloak. Impressive stuff. Impressive thing to wear around town. And I think someone wanted to get some horns, which you can just do if you want to do that.
Yeah, Jackals is like a trophy, I guess, from the
Nice.
kill.
Something
21.
Something to turn into a.
Should at least get us some skins.
Oh yeah, definitely. You've got enough of the
Get
hide from the
Jackus to
back
wear a
of it.
Yeti head.
Yeah, he could attach the horns to his helmet.
Ha!
Nice.
Okay, he says, "Oh, what about that pony out there? That's going to be dead tomorrow."
Oh no. Would a healing spell help the pony at all?
He says it might be okay if we can get it to go under, bring it in, just nip out and bring it in and tie it up underneath the shack.
Maybe the pony should wear the Yeti cloak.
Does the pony have cold weather gear?
No, it's
Yep.
got its winter coat. I suppose you'd have a rug or something for it.
I did. I bought extra blankets, but I also bought cold weather gear for the pony.
Okay.
10 gold, presumably.
Okay, yeah. So you've got
Give
a
us some Ugg boots, some Yeti Uggs.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what brings you out here?
Well, we are, I suppose, a postal service of sorts. We are making some sensitive deliveries.
Well, you're brave, I guess. You can tell that he's choosing his words carefully. To be delivering post in this weather, but you're welcome to stay the night and see out this blizzard, and we can head into Hundlestone tomorrow. My adoptive parents are blacksmiths, master smiths in Hundlestone, and I am apprentice to them as my regular job.
Great, we'll take up your offer.
Yeah. He offers you some
Thank you.
warm furs and a place by the fire to wait out the rest of the storm, and the rest of the evening passes uneventfully. You're all exhausted from pushing through this blizzard and a fight. So the next day it's fairly clear, and you can make your way down the short trip to Hundlestone, which is in a valley very close to where you are.
Is 10 towns on this continent, or was it meant to be on the other side of the naval trip?
No,
Like,
it's this continent. It's the other side of the mountains that you're heading directly towards. This town is with short, squat, one-story structures with steeply pitched roofs, and you can tell that most of them, apart from residences, are forges or smithies of some sort. It looks like that's the main, the main export, I guess, or service provided. Alvan gestures for you to just follow him as he sort of heads into town. Are you going through?
Is that his name? Sorry, Elvin.
Alvan, yeah. Here we go. I'll put it in the chat. So he takes you to the Master Smith in town, which is also a form of mayor or community leader, and that happens to be that's his parents are the Master Smiths of the town. The Falstaff Shorthelm, who's his adoptive father, is working in the smithy as you approach. And he sort of looks up at you and just gives you a terse nod as his son introduces you.
Oh hi, we're the deliverer. We're the deliverers. We're just making our way to Ten Towns. This is my little group of our Luskin deliverers.
Right. Well,
would you be able to give us information or along what we need to know to travel to Ten Towns safely?
let's see. I'm just checking your log. Can you do a persuasion check? Ooh, is that bad? Okay. All right. This guy says, yes, you came to the aid of our son. He wouldn't be with us without you. Any help we can give, any advice we can offer, any questions you might have. And he sort of puts down his hammer, which you, from Alvin, look on Alvin's face, goes, this guy only puts down his hammer at dinner time and that's it. But he says, let's go and have a mug and chat.
That sounds lovely.
Your son is a very capable fighter. He slew a Yeti single-handedly. Almost slew everyone.
Yes, we like to make sure our young can handle themselves. Okay,
Wise for him to have been alone, though. It was by sheer luck that we happened to be able to assist. I don't think any of us would have fared well if we were to be ambushed by two Yetis whilst alone.
He gives a grizzled side-on look at Alvan and says, it is unwise, and we have spoken many times.
Oh dear. Oh, I think I may have touched a nerve.
Better stay out of the sash.
Yeah.
Charisma strikes again.
You, although you may have forgotten, the natural 20 on your discussion with this guy reminds you that you were actually given some adamantine to deliver to a friend of Griggle Dustlock's in this town as the smithy.
Oh, we were.
Yeah. You've got some that he gifted you with as well. He gave you 3 bars, I believe. But you've also got some that he had asked you to deliver if you're going through.
What a stroke of fate and good luck.
Mm.
I know nothing about this delivery though, so...
No, but something that you say, he might mention Griggle Dustlock, and then you go, oh yeah, we know Griggle Dustlock, da 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 da, and then with a natural 20, he draws it out of you rather than the other way around.
Yes, he had an unfortunate incident, and he may have had to pack up his smithy to another location. If you were in contact with him, he may have a different address very shortly, if not already.
He's an eccentric one, and we love him dearly, but yes, he's not one to take care with his work. But on to brighter things. We welcome this adamantine. Thank you. And so you say you've got 3 bars of your own, do you?
Yes.
Well, he sort of goes and talks to... He's got some apprentices and some other family members with him. And he says, well, if it pleases you, if you're willing to stay in town for a day, we'll see if we can fashion those bars into something more useful for you. You won't find anyone capable of fashioning adamantine further north of here.
That would be very much appreciated. Yes, I believe you. I don't think any common smith could work with such a metal. But I'm just curious, knowing nothing of metallurgy, what would 3 bars be able to make? Are we talking about 3 daggers or a single chest piece of armor, that sort of thing?
Right. Well, so we could probably make a simple, one-handed weapon. Mace, hammer, sword, something like that, using 2 of the bars, and then something light and simple like a dagger or something like that with the 3rd one. If you wanted to use all 3, we could probably fashion either a breastplate or a shield. But with the properties of adamantine, the primary function is it takes magic well. If you ever get the opportunity to enchant it, it's not going to be enchanted by its nature, but it's largely indestructible and very hard. So
use a new knife.
Sorry, yeah. So largely indestructible. So handy for things like, although an excessive use for things like pitons or things that you can't afford to break. But they're also very good at smashing other things, and what he means by that is structural damage. So structural damage is always a crit.
So if we were blocked in by snow, let's say like ice that's hardened, we could use that to make our way through.
If you were trying to pound your way through through a wall of ice, an adamantine warhammer would be perfect.
And Nina wants to look to the group. What do you guys want to do? I really like the sound of this. Wait, when you say warhammer, is it a tool or weapon?
It'd be both.
Oh.
So
can anyone use a hammer?
A warhammer, I believe, is a martial weapon. So
I think that would be me.
Would you want one? Would you? I want. This is a group decision, though.
Yeah, there's a martial a warhammer is a martial melee weapon weighing 2 pounds. It's versatile, the same as your battle axe or your longsword. It's 1d8 or 1d10 if you use 2 hands. So damage is actually identical to your longsword and battle axe. The difference would be that it would do a critical hit to structures.
Well, if I might use it someday, then I guess it's worth it. How much if we just sell these bars on its own?
You might get hundreds selling further south. The difficulty in the wildlands is finding a buyer for its true value.
I guess it's gonna be more valuable for us now as a weapon than selling it off.
But if you wanted us to use that 2nd bar on a dagger so that you could definitely jam it into a crack and you're knowing it's not going to snap, we could do that as well. Unless you've got other ideas.
Two bars for a
So-
warhammer and the
What's that?
one extra for a dagger. Is it?
Yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he sort of says, "Okay, everyone, tools down. Drop everything you're doing." And he seems to muster the resources of the entire smithing family, and there's about 5 people, and Alvan sort of says, "Okay, come away and leave them to it. They'll work night and day until they collectively get it finished."
Nina's gonna stay near the fire
Okay.
as she watches the 4Gs do the work.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you can stay nearby. And says, right, so let's go and sit down, have a chat. Is there anything else that you want to know, or what are your plans?
Your son mentioned that Yetis were common around these parts. Is that true on a seasonal basis, or is that just as a general rule that up north Yetis are common? Have monster attacks increased lately, and has the political and social climate worsened at all lately? I asked, she's trying to be subtle about it,
Yeah.
but she's trying to,
Okay.
ask, is there anything threatening 10 towns and stuff like that?
He says that there's many strange tales coming from Icewind Dale from the north, and talk of very odd things. He says, well, this is. I reckon there's some truth to that, because we've definitely been seeing more of the abominations, the beasts, coming further, closer to civilization than they've ever been. And there's not been a caravan for months now.
That is concerning.
The last few that have come through from the south have said that they've had to push through blizzards, and they tell tales about eternal night blanketing the land further north, and very strange glowing curtains in the sky. Nina, you would have seen this, and you would know that he's talking about auroras.
Aurora's not common at all in the north.
They are, but this is like a nightly occurrence.
Oh. Well, we still have to set out to the 10 towns. Is there anything that we should bring? Should we bring extra food? It seems like if there's no merchants traveling to and fro, there won't be a lot of trade. Or
Yeah,
do you think food's going to be scarce up north?
You could try and take more gear with you. Travelling light is probably safer if you can afford it. He's sort of looking at you, says you're not really equipped for going into what the merchants are describing as further. You really should have snowshoes if you're going to go any further north. And he sort of looks at this pony and says, I don't think that pony's going to make it. You might be better off
That's bad, huh?
to sell him here.
So our pony won't survive the trip, and we should just sell it.
What do they use for mounts then?
The merchants haven't had mounts. They've been sort of 6 people pulling a sled.
Oh.
I turn to the sorcerer and I go, don't you have one of those spells, summon tenses floating,
Yeah.
a charity bowl? I saw them do that at church once.
That would be a no.
He says he has heard that they use, in Icewind Dale, they do use dogs to get around, and that they strap packs of their beasts to a sled and get pulled around on the snow. And there's more exotic mounts that are domesticated in the area of 10 towns.
Sharpie. Maybe we can buy those mounts instead. Trade SO. What's the pony's name? Trade a few
Oh,
mounts.
right. It's our party member's pony, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
but she won't make it. Is there any kind of barding or stuff the blacksmiths could make that could help the pony, or not really?
I think Sharpie's done well up to now with the rugs and blankets and stuff.
Yeah.
Sharpie says his sound is cutting out.
Yeah, it's, keep going.
He's out of Roll20, but we're not really doing visual stuff now anyway. Yeah, so Sharpie's done a good job of keeping him, warm and snug, even in these sort of 0 degree temperatures. But the rumours are of worse than -50.
Well, could we leave the pony in the care of these blacksmiths, and then maybe we can pick the pony up on the way back to the ship, assuming we're still.
He's certain that he could have a chat to his adoptive parents and look after this pony in your absence.
She's got food enough for a while. Should keep you.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping the pony? Okay. Well,
Okay.
if that's the case, let's bring him along.
All right.
I know we're leaving the pony with the blacksmiths.
Oh, well, we're leaving the pony with the
Well,
blacksmith. Okay.
So
Yeah,
the pony stays with the blacksmiths. The
Okay.
the after a full 24 hours, you are presented with some air of ceremony. This magnificent warhammer with a dwarven symbol on the side. Jackus, is there anything that you particularly want to be on the other side? The dwarven symbol is more the blessing of the maker.
I guess it would be like a symbol of one of the god of wars, or it could be Tyr, probably.
Tyr is justice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Yep. So it's got
yeah, could be him.
Okay, so on the other sword, after a quick discussion with you to sort of sound you out, you flip it over and you can see that there's the symbol of scales and a longsword superimposed over the top of scales on the other side of this this adamantine warhammer.
Nice. I just try to just swing it around and get the feel for it.
Yep, it's not massive. It doesn't need to be because it's heavier than normal metal. But yep, well made, and you feel like you're going to have no problem smashing stuff with this.
Awesome. I love smashing things.
Okay. And a dagger as well. So you've got a dagger. So whoever wants to take the dagger, warhammer.
If you don't mind.
Yep.
Go for it. No one,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no one else is going to be using daggers.
Okay.
The last night with the chat with Elvin, were we able to ask them how to procure snowshoes?
They're going to give them to you.
Oh, for free?
Yeah.
Nice.
Consider it a gift.
Thank you, Elvin.
Yeah. And on the third day, after the second night's rest, you all pack up, say goodbye to your pony, say goodbye to Alvan, wave to the dwarves, and that they turn back to their forges after a short time, and you head off further north.
Do we not need to buy anything to
Does
keep us
anybody
warm
need a
in the
tent or anything? Or
Yeah, so
yeah, stuff like that for cold.
Yeah, so you've already got a set of cold weather gear, which is, as probably as good as it's going to get. I think having goggles and snowshoes is going to make a big difference in blizzards and in once you start to hit dense snow. From here on in, if you're not wearing snowshoes, it halves your movement rate. But even with snowshoes, it's still difficult to rain. So let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is just do a bit of. Are we on this? Can you all see the map now? No, I'll move you back to it. Okay, so what have we got scale here? Oh yeah. So freehand, you'd now come to here, Handlestone. You can see up on here, there's 5 miles. Threads, I've got a series of survival checks for you to do.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, if you can get ready and do one for day 11, 12, about day 15 or so.
Is that with
Advantage.
Advantage?
Yeah. The rest of the party has got your back. Okay. So after the first day, you make it probably less than 10 miles, but otherwise untoward. Go again. The weather's bad throughout this day, so it's not a blizzard, but it's heavy snowfall. You can see about 60 feet. Second day the same.
16.
By this time, you're now in your favoured terrain. You are entering the spine of the world.
Yep, so that's mountains.
Yes.
What does that do?
I don't know. Yeah, what does it do? There's a few different things that favoured terrain.
My proficiency bonus is doubled for proficient skills when I make an intelligence or wisdom check related to it. But traveling for an hour or more, difficult terrain doesn't slow my group's travel. We can't become lost except by magical means. I remain alert to danger even when I'm engaged in another activity. And I can move stealthily at a normal pace. I find twice as much food while foraging and while tracking creatures. You learn the exact number, sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area. All of that stuff.
So for these survival checks, you double your proficiency bonus, I think it was. That's the big one, and you can't become lost.
Yep.
On the third day, you're going through dense. I'm just going to move us back to that other map, just to use as a sort of snowy area. Whoops. But we'll just ignore the, what's it called? The hut and so on. Whoops, I don't need to draw. Select, and I'll turn off the music. Okay, so let's say, I'll just move some of our characters out of the way for a minute. Let's say you're all at one end. You're travelling. Oh yeah, I'll actually move you down to the path because that gives you this is what you're travelling along.
This is after a long rest, right?
Oh yeah. And threads. Can you roll a perception check? This is not with advantage now.
Oh my god.
Perception. Okay. All right. So
+2, so it's a 7 if I'm
Yes.
doubling my
True. Yep.
what do you call it?
So it's a 7.
Yeah.
And over here where I'm pinging,
Yeah.
I'll actually chuck a dead Yeti over there, just so that you can see it. There are some immense mountain goats. They're not just, they're gigantic. Probably the size of a horse. And there's 3 of them, just where that X is.
I stop the party as well.
Okay. How long will you stop there and observe?
Can I see are they just grazing, or do they seem like they're going to be moving on soon?
No, they're
or?
hopping about. Just each of the 2 sides here is very steep. It's a wooded area, so there's pine trees, but otherwise the slopes rise pretty quickly to mountains.
Do we know if those animals are hostile animals usually?
Yeah, they would. If they were aggressed, they would fight back.
Okay.
Are they skittish? Like, would we be able to scare them?
They don't. Oh, yeah, definitely. They're not. They're not predators by any means.
Does anybody have anything impressive, like a spell that we could use to scare them off?
Can I use my prestidigitation to make a sound of maybe a roaring Yeti near them, so they can run off not in our direction?
Oh yeah.
Sounds good.
I have thaumaturgy. I can make your voice boom 3 times louder.
Why don't you do that then?
Well, who's good at shouting? I'll cast it on them.
Oh, can you thaumaturgy my prestidigitation?
I don't know.
Can we?
It's like a minor miracle. I think it's like done on a human. Or I think prestidigitation is more for like making like not for making like loud noises, but it can make like weird noises. I think.
I'd like to
like
land a firebolt
sound.
right there if that doesn't work.
While you're discussing it, you hear this whistling off to the south, and looking off in that direction, you can't see where it came from, but you see. I'll draw it on this sort of trajectory. Hang on, I'll draw it with a free hand. There we go. In this sort of trajectory, some sort of large object comes sailing, almost flat but on a slight curve. And up. Where are we? I'll just check something.
Can I shoot the object before it hits them?
Let's see. No, it's like, it's moving like an arrow. Okay. And at that point, another one comes. So one hits one of the goats, and another one hits the same goat, and it drops dead. That one there.
Can Nina see where that came from?
You can see
Behind
where,
the tree?
yeah, you can see the direction that it came from, but because
What
of
caused
the
it?
snowfall, you can't. It came from out of the snow, from higher up.
Who goes there?
With
She wants to yell out.
Threads, you hear a rumble coming from that direction.
What actually was the thing that hit the goat? Was it a big arrow, spear, or something?
It was a boulder about the size of a mini.
I think we should stay quiet. I whispered to Nina in particular.
Have I already yelled out? Is it too late?
You've tried to. But
Sharkwise moves to the side and hides.
Yeah.
Okay. Eventually, the rumbling turns into footfalls, and two frost giants come striding across the valley. They don't seem to have seen you, but one of them, as he moves, scoops up a boulder from the ground and he hurls it at another goat. The goats were surprised. Again, hitting it, and the other one does the same thing after taking the lead, and they kill another goat. And everyone else, what are you doing at this point?
Scattering behind a tree.
Okay.
Hiding.
We're hiding.
Stay quiet. Yeah, hiding.
Okay, well, I'm going to need a collective stealth roll from the party.
Oh.
So Sharpie's passed. Threads.
7.
Yes.
Remember to double your bonus in this terrain.
9.
Okay, Elros is cool. Jackus is great. Nina, not so much. So 1. We've got more than half their party has passed. Or half or more.
Sorry, I stepped out to get a drink.
Yeah, we need a stealth roll from you. You're hiding from...
Oh, my word.
Yeah, and Nina was saying, who goes there?
Okay. Yes.
Technically, I got disadvantage. So.
Because of the armor?
Yeah, so it's a 6.
Okay, so Jackus, you might have disadvantage as well.
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, so go for it.
Alright, hold on, let me roll again.
Oh.
Jackus, I think you just saved the party with that roll because we've got a...
Jackus just stands there and lets the snow fall on him.
Yeah, you're like you did go into Drex stealth mode. You just stand still. So see, I'm invisible.
It is like Drax.
Yeah.
I've mastered the art of staying incredibly still.
Exactly.
Invincible.
And in this instance, it works. Everyone's just standing there, mouth agape, staring at these two giants as they go in, pick up these horse-sized goats. Obviously, the other one is just scarpered and dashed off into the woods. They throw them over their shoulders and start walking back the other way. And you can hear them making their way up into the mountains above.
Are they saying anything to each other?
It's actually a bit difficult to hear, so sounds are a bit muted in this blizzard.
Okay.
It works both ways. Thank God.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. How long are you going to stay in your Drax poses?
Long enough.
You'll give it about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah, okay. All right, so 5 minutes.
Start creeping across.
Okay. 5 minutes pass by, and you lose all any sign of these giants. They've come out of the snow, killed something that you've just seen, and vanished back off from where they came. 5 minutes later, you can hardly make out the footprints. You can see there's indentations, but it would be very quick for tracks to be covered in the snow. Okay.
Nina, maybe next time you can think before you call out into the snow.
The snow helped us this time.
Yeah.
But you're right. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay.
Just, before until we know what it is that's shooting massive boulders at the massive goats.
Sharpie nods vigorously.
Yeah. Okay. Can I have another survival roll for this day, please? Tracker? Through the mountains?
21.
Okay. So, from this midpoint in the mountains, the day that you set off, bizarrely, the climate has just changed. Remember, only a few days south of here, the days were 14 hours long. Well, sun comes up, but it doesn't actually come up very high at all. In fact, it pretty much stays below the mountain range and never rises high enough for you to actually see it. So while it probably is above the horizon from the curvature of the earth, you can see light is hitting the very tips of the mountains. You never see it. And it's only up for about 4 hours and then it's gone. So you've only really got 4 hours of travel time each day, and you're managing about 1 kilometre, 1 mile an hour. It'd be a half if you didn't have snowshoes, and probably half again if you didn't have a mountaineering ranger with you. So you're making very poor, very, very little distance compared to how you would if it was just, regular mountain trail. But you are on a trail, so you're not having to navigate mountains. You're also not getting lost, and Threads is navigating you through the blizzards and things when they come up. The other thing is probably about 2 hours after sundown. It's some of you may have seen auroras before if you've been into the Arctic region, which you are in now. The odd thing about these one is it seems to appear in a point in the sky, almost as if someone's pouring paint from above. So there's this higher up, there's this colour starts, and then it sort of trickles down the sky, and then that sort of ethereal, glowing green and blue and pink seems to spread across the sky in a complete ring, almost as if a curtain is being drawn around the sky. And it's the same sort of effect when it's done as the aurora borealis, but it's not appearing in the same way as what you would expect. And this is where probably a lot of these stories of bad omens or supernatural things going on.
Does it provide enough light to travel by?
No, and in the evenings, once the sun goes down, it drops to below -50. When the wind is blowing, that can drop it to another 50 in chill factor. So it's potential that you would just die to exposure despite cold weather gear if you're out in night, particularly if you're out at night when there's a wind. During the middle of the day, over those 4 hours, it's the light all around is dim. So most of the travel, there's no snow. Once you get past the sort of blizzard area that's sort of green marked on your map there. But even with clear skies and things, it's at best twilight, so dim light. Still means you can see to the horizon. You can see to the horizon in dim light, but you would need some sort of magical light to not have disadvantage on perception rolls and things. It's as if you're always walking around in dawn or dusk. This is what midwinter is like in this region. So the sun comes up for 4 hours, and it's been like that every day. And from the rumours of what you heard in Hundlestone, that's what it's been like this for months from the last few caravans that have come through. Okay. I'm just seeing I've just got one more thing to mention on this next day. Can I just get another survival roll from you, please, Threads? Okay, another 18. So 19 and 18 for the last 2 days.
18.
Yeah.
So 20
Ah,
plus 2.
yes, because the mountains. Okay. You come across and discover with your tracking skills as you're doing this day, you're going through sort of lower forested area, and you see wagons upturned, half buried in snow. And a quick investigation reveals it looks like a wagon train that's been heading south, and there are horses attached to it, sort of shaggy mountain ones, and they've all been partially eaten by wolves or some other hunting beasts.
Can we check for any loot?
Yes.
Also, survivors.
Yeah, so you will have to do an investigation roll, and with the party doing that, you can roll that with advantage. Who's your primary investigator? Oh, okay, we've had our 2 rolls. We've got a 15 and a 5. You find the remains of 3 humans, also partially devoured by hunting beasts of some sort.
I will do a little prayer for their souls.
It looks like they're still loaded up with fish products. Something odd that you might not have seen before. It looks like it's full of skulls of fish. They've got this giant big forehead that overhangs the face, and there's a wagon of them.
Any of the fish were eaten, or just the humans?
No, it's not fish as in meat. It's more scrimshaw, which is sort of like ivory. It's
Fish bones.
Yeah, fish bones.
Okay.
Yeah, they have this thing where they take all the fish bones back down south, and then they assemble them into skeletons, so necromancers can raise them. Yeah, big business.
Yeah.
Oh, but I mean, an aquarium of necromancy fish would be sick, though. A real conversation piece.
How big are these fish bones? Is Nina able to grab like a handful and chuck them in her backpack?
Oh, one forehead is like a solid basketball-sized shape of bone.
Ah.
They're about twice the size of tuna.
Ah.
I'll see if I can give you a handout. I'm pretty sure I've got one.
It's abandoned. Does anybody want these fish bones?
Check the co-workers out for anything else that's useful. Otherwise, leave it here for the thaw.
Nina's gonna grab one fish bone though.
Okay. All right, there we go. You can see a knucklehead trout.
Looks like a sperm whale.
Yeah. They're probably about as long as a car, the biggest ones.
Yeah.
But generally...
And small ones would make solid melee weapons.
Yeah. Very good spiritual... what's it called? Spiritual animals or something? Okay. So a abandoned, failed wagon. Now, what can I do for you? I'm just going to move to another map. Because in the distance, you see a town. a large hill, and upon that hill is the hill is ringed with a walled a wooden palisade, and let's see. Where's this map? I'll find it for you in a sec, but you can see the first of 10 towns, and you've effectively arrived.
Well, it's been a nice, pleasant trip. Let's never do this again.
Okay, here we go. I found it.
It's such a different way of life up north here. But the aurora was very beautiful.
Yes, absolutely lovely.
Almost worth the trip to see it.
Yes, and such lovely company too.
Yeah, no complaints.
Now, before we investigate this too much, are you seeing all the text on here, or just the map itself?
Just the map itself.
Ah, cool. I tried to put things on, get things onto the right layer so that we can add to the map as you explore. But what I can do. Yeah, so it's taking a while to come up. Maybe it's a big map.
It's a massive map.
Yeah. There we go. So you're about here now, or at least looking onto this area, and it's a town that isn't on a lake. You've gone exited the spine of the world through this pass down here, and crossed a frozen creek, and you're at this point here now. And I think it's well beyond our normal 11 o'clock stopping time. So, but congratulations, you're actually in Icewind Dale. And next week we can kick off with entering the first of 10 towns.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Exciting.
And
It's a very nice map as well.
yeah, it is. Yeah, very good.
Where in the map are we in right now?
Right here, where I'm pinging.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're out of the mountains now.
You are. You're sort of in that area.
All right. Yeah.
No more favored terrain.
There we go.
Oh,
It doesn't mean you won't be going back there. Now, is anyone... Whoop, I've got a mozzie flying around me here. Has anyone of you volunteering that you know this area or want to tell anyone of... Because if you've been here, then you know which town is where. And you can
I would possibly, because my far traveller background, I probably would have passed through this town once before.
Yep. And
So,
I would
At-
do. I took the
at a
party.
guess, would be at Bren Strider.
Yep. Bryn Shander.
Bryn Shander, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and Nina, you would have been here before when you headed south from this area. Bryn Shander was the largest of 10 towns, and it's the only one that's not on one of the 3 fishing lakes, but it's the most defended and so largest and most central. And you can spear off from there once you get in there and we get stuck into things. So, with that, I think we'll finish up. So we'll pick up next week. I'm excited to get into Icewind Dale and start doing some stuff.
Cool.
Yes.
huzzah.
Very much.
All right.
Exciting. Thank you.
Do we level up?
No.
No.
Yeah. What I'll do is what I'm hoping to do is there's a lot of this adventure in the hardcover, set at that sort of 1st to 4th level. So with these introductory ones that were published through D&D Beyond, there's 3 ways you can go about doing it. You can either play those and then finish and then start afresh with either new characters or pretending and faking and just starting off from 1st level once you get here. Another way is to get here, be something around 3rd or 4th level and sort of skip a third or so of the hardcover, which I also didn't want to do if you guys are okay with that. And the last way which would be what I suggest is we just slightly slow down the progression as we've done over the last couple of weeks, and then slightly slow down the progression at least for the first third of the hardcover, and that way you get to play it all and without missing out on any of the cool stuff. But you get an introduction into it with a plausible reason to be here, and slowly getting into that point where with motivations rather than you're in 10 towns and you've lived here forever. What are you going to do? That sort of thing.
Sure. Sounds good.
So I'd be very surprised if the events of next week didn't get you up to 3rd. You would expect normally 2 to 3 sessions. So what I'm per level, but I'm thinking if you expect 3, then that would be about right, at least until we get past the next couple of levels.
Sounds good.
But you're feeling very close.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to sign off now. And
could you just please run something through the Roll20 jukebox before you go?
oh yeah, okay. I'm just going to pause the recording though.